last year I had a wedding to go to in Tasmania from a family, a niece. And I saw Ed in passing and I said to him, I would dearly love to go to that wedding. And he said, why don't you go? And I said, because I can't afford it. It wasn't the financial thing, that plane tickets I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to be away from my office or couldn't afford to be away from my workshop for more than a day. You don't go to Tasmania for one day. So Ed then, out of the goodness of his heart, said, I think you really need some help and some lessons in leadership and so on and so forth. You need to come to these best practice discovery workshops. In my mind, I thought, yep, here's another feel-good ceremony, and they're going to tell you how to make lots of money and do this and become entrepreneurs and yada, 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 yada. But they don't know how much struggles I've got just getting through my workload at present. They don't know what it's like to be understaffed. They don't know what it's like. Thankfully, my misconceptions were all wrong. And I then came to the discovery workshop, and I didn't look to my left, I didn't look to my right, who was signing up and who wasn't. I knew deep within my core being that this is something I need to do. Either that or get out of business. And that's as serious as that's what it was. And Ed identified that, and I made the decision, and that was only the beginning of the pain. I'm still in pain now. And yet, it's a pain worth having, and there's so much more to go. I'm excited and I'm extremely motivated.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of the things we originally said to you were highlighting those this morning, weren't you? You were saying that I originally promised you that you could really attract talent to your business. You know, people that have got potentially good employees, and you've recently just experienced that sort of promise or that suggestion.
Absolutely. Two things have happened in the past. One is first the decluttering of my mind and getting more white space and changing the environment we're at, so that you can then get rid of your negative core beliefs of that we're not quite worthy, but actually we're more than worthy. We're ready to take on the world, so to speak. And in my business, luxury type cars is something where we're heading, and so on and so forth. So physically changing the environment on the workshop has also then created my sense of courage to take further steps. Secondly, to poach an employee from a high-class work environment and take him to my garden, the beautiful butterfly, and actually put him in my garden is something that we're just working on right now, and it's extremely enjoyable and exciting, and I hope it all works out.
Yeah. So having that mission, vision and values and portraying the image that in the business that you're intending to become, it really in fact starts then you becoming that business, right? Absolutely.
You become then living the testimony that you want to be, whereas you always seem to withhold yourself from having it due to whatever the reasons it is. And best practice has shown me many things, like cleaning up my desk, which I never had a problem with. I now have a problem with it because it is actually unacceptable business practice.
Yeah.
Because your desk also relates to your mind, and your mind relates where you're at in life.
Yeah. So before you started this journey, pardon me, with us, what was your sense of sense of entitlement about being successful and worthiness to be successful in your own business compared to now, and how do you feel now about the journey ahead and how successful you may become?
I used to always think that if you were financially stable and that you could have your life in a balance, that you could give to your community and give to your family and your beliefs and so on and so forth, then that was the pinnacle that you would aspire to. Just to be financially stable in business is enough. Now that I see it, there's so much more, and the growth that if you don't grow, you actually end up sinking. 9 years running my own business, I'm pretty much at the same spot as where I was 9 years ago. Something's wrong in my business, and that person is that the wrong thing is me. Take ownership and responsibility of that.
Yeah.
So now I can see myself not just being financially stable, but creating a business culture that it starts running itself, and then I can move on to do better things. I can go on to do studying or whatever I want to do. Freedom, I suppose, is more than financial stability.
Absolutely.
It's a big one.
Yeah. And so how more likely do you now believe and see the evolution for yourself in the future, compared to maybe 6 months ago?
200%.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
And my wife can see the change as well. I'm actually doing homework. I actually care about this, not because of the $440 a month that keeps getting milked out of my account, but because I actually believe in that this can work.
Yeah.
I know it's working. I see it work.
Yeah. What would you say to other business owners out there that, you know, are going okay, but not necessarily, you know, realising their dreams and their objectives in business? What is this process worthwhile?
Now's the time to do something about it, and yes, it's worthwhile.
Yeah. Thank you.